let's turn up the heat with this video of my top 10 worst films of 2024. The time has finally come to list the worst films of the year. Let's go. And boom, and rolling. Now, starting off with number 10. This is the Halle Berry film, directed by Alexander Aja, and that is Never Let Go. Now, this is a peculiar horror film that definitely had a lot of potential. I personally thought it was okay, but it was very boring, mundane, and the ending was a huge letdown. The ending could have saved this movie, but nevertheless, not a great film. That's number 10. Boom! Number 9 is the Blumhouse film directed by Jeff Wadlow, and that is Imaginary. Now, this film felt like a cheap version of Child's Play, the Chucky films. A story about a doll that really is, I guess, possessed, kills people. I vaguely remember this movie, but I definitely remember that it was a terrible film as far as that goes. Okay, now to number 8. This is the film directed by Joshua John Miller, starring Russell Crowe, and I think he did a good job acting in this film, but the film was terrible. Definitely felt like an Exorcist ripoff, and that is the film The Exorcism. Definitely had a lot of potential. By all means, wasn't a great film. There were some interesting bits, but the film was slow. It dragged. It was definitely a slow burn film that really went nowhere. Anyways, now moving on to number 7. This is the Zelda Williams film. Robin Williams' daughter directed this movie. No disrespect to her. This film was written by Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno. But this film, by all means, wasn't the greatest. I don't know. I don't know what went wrong. I think Zelda Williams did a good job directing it. I just don't think the film was great. But that is Lisa Frankenstein. Now, this is a romance horror film that really wasn't the... I don't know. It wasn't good at all. About this girl that falls in love with Frankenstein, like a teenage kind of Twilight vampire love film, but not with vampires, with a Frankenstein kind of creature monster thing. Definitely not good. That is number 7. Now on to number 6. I know I'm going to cop a lot of hate for this, but I personally hated this film. Didn't like it at all, and for the most part, this is just the films that I despise. I don't like these movies. They didn't gel well with me, and this is the film directed by Jeff Nichols. He's a great director, but this film, by all means, was boring, very boring, and felt like a shitty version of Sons of Anarchy. I definitely think the true story is interesting, but the film definitely wasn't great, and that is The Bike Riders, starring Butler Austin, or Austin Butler, however you want to say his name. Definitely not a great film. A film about bikie gangs, about motorcycle outlaw gangs. Yeah, definitely wasn't great. Anyways, moving on to number 5. Now, this film, I tried watching it yesterday. I turned it off halfway through, and I know people should say you should watch that film right through to the end and then judge it, but I couldn't. I couldn't put myself through this. I mean, I don't know what's worse. Getting circumcised or watching this film. And this is the film directed by Nathan and John Zether. I think that's how you pronounce their names. And this is Sasquatch Sunset, a film about Bigfoot, Sasquatch, about... it's a film with no dialogue whatsoever, and it's just about the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, mythical creature in the wilderness, and living amongst the other Sasquatch creatures there. But what a shit film. I'm sorry, if you like this film, I'll give you the number of my therapist. I've got it here somewhere. Yeah, remind me. Anyways, now moving on to number 4. Now, this film definitely had a lot of potential. No, in no way is it as good as the original. And this film was directed by Tim Burton, and that is the sequel, Beetlejuice, with Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega. I think this film definitely had a lot of cool bits, but definitely wasn't a great film. I won't be picking it up on 4K or Blu-ray. It's just, you can't top the original, and the sequel was trying too hard to be a good film. Very boring, and just cliche, and nothing original spoke to me. It's definitely a film that was piggybacking off the original. Now to number 3. Now this is a Spanish film that you can all watch on Netflix if you've got Netflix. And I love the original film. This is a Spanish film. You can watch it with the English audio. It's not original English audio because it's a Spanish film, or with English subtitles. The film's in Spanish. Really, really great science fiction horror film. The first one I liked. This one was a stinker. And that is the film directed by Gauda Gazatelu Urrutia, however you pronounce his name, Spanish director from Spain, not South America. And this is the sequel film, The Platform 2. Very similar to the Cube movies. This is a film set all in one location about these people that are living on these platforms, and this like kind of dumbwaiter thing comes down with food on it, and you're only allowed a certain amount of food, and then it keeps going down, and then the people on these platforms got to survive, and they all got to work together to constructively eat the food to make sure the person below them eats their food. And then, look, it had potential, but not as good as the original, and not a great film. Very boring, and when I have to pull out my phone and I'm on Instagram and I'm watching the film at the same time, that's how you know a film is terrible. Okay, now to number 2. Now, I think a lot of people will agree with me. This sequel sucked balls. Now, this is the film by Rise Frake Waterfield. This sequel was a little bit better than... it was pretty... I'll say both of them are shit. The first one was shit, the second one was shit. These ones are shit, and I know they're making a third one, and this is the Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey 2, the movie. That movie. Yes, that movie. Terrible film. You all know the Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey film. I'm not going to get into detail on this. I did an in-depth review of it. It's on my channel. Check it out. For the most part, a few of these films are on my movie reviews are on my channel, so check them out if you're interested. But having said that, Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey, yeah, terrible film. What can I say? Oh, mate. Getting a migraine. Whew. All right, now to number 1. This is the worst film of the entire year. This film was directed by 2 females, not knocking them. The film was just shit. They couldn't have done a better job with this film. It was just a shit film from Jump Street. From the get-go, the film wasn't a good film at all. This film was directed by Anna Halberg and Spencer Cohen. Actually, no, sorry. Yeah, 1 female, 1 male. But they did a good job with the film, but the film was terrible, and that is Tarot. A very shitty horror film about these people. They get their fortunes told with these tarot cards, and then each person who got their fortune told and they got their future predicted, and they die off one by one in the way that their tarot cards told them they would see their future, their destiny. Just a terrible film. I can't even just break down and I'm gonna break down and cry. Trying to explain this movie. It's just a shitty film, and I don't know what else to say. I don't like it. I think if you like this film, you got issues. And I know a lot of people are gonna say it wasn't that bad. Well, if it wasn't that bad, good luck to you, mate. But anyways, that's it for my list of the 10 worst films of 2024. Thank you all for watching. I'm Mike Starr. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below with what you think is the worst film you've seen this year. Or if any of these terrible films, you didn't like them, just yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. But also, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch my most previous video. And that is my The Wizard of Oz 4K unboxing, and I'm gonna do an in-depth review of that possibly because I had a lot of issues when I ordered it. There was a scratch on it. But anyways, we'll see. But having said that, also check out my top 10 films of the year, the best films of 2024. I'll also put a link in the description where you can watch that video. But anyways, it's hot. It's about 30 degrees here in Sydney, Australia. I'm out of here, folks. I'll catch you all in my next video. But until then, have a good night.